Nestled deep in the rolling hills of Hinsdale, New York, lies a house that looks like any other rural farmhouse. Quiet, secluded, and peaceful at first glance. But behind its white wooden walls hides one of the most terrifying and persistent hauntings in American history. This isn't just another ghost story. It's a chilling account of dark rituals, spiritual attacks, and unexplained horrors that have driven people to flee the property in fear. This is the story of the Hinsdale House, a place where evil refuses to die. The year was 1973 when the Dandy family, Phil, Clara, and their 4 children, moved into the house on McMahon Road. They were seeking a fresh start in the countryside, away from the hustle of city life. What they found instead was the stuff of nightmares. It began with small disturbances, strange knocking on walls, cold spots in rooms, and objects that seemed to vanish or move on their own. But soon the activity escalated into something much more malevolent. Apparitions appeared in broad daylight, including a woman dressed in white, a tall, shadowy man, and ghostly children that played near the edge of the woods. The Dandies were frightened, but they tried to ignore it until it became impossible. Night after night, the family was tormented by unseen forces. Doors would slam shut without warning. Lights would flicker or explode. The telephone would ring at odd hours, only to deliver static, growling, or heavy breathing. The children often woke up gasping for air, claiming something was choking them in their sleep. One daughter reportedly levitated off her bed. Even more chilling were reports of voices calling family members by name, warning them to leave. The house, it seemed, had a mind of its own. Desperate for help, Clara Dandy reached out to Father Alphonsus Trabold, a Catholic priest and professor at St. Bonaventure University. After visiting the house and experiencing the energy for himself, he agreed that something unnatural was taking place. With his team of paranormal researchers, Father Trabold conducted investigations and ultimately arranged for an exorcism. But instead of bringing peace, the ceremony only seemed to anger whatever spirit or spirits were dwelling inside. The paranormal activity intensified. The family now reported violent shaking of the house, unexplainable growls, and an overwhelming sense of dread that blanketed the property. Digging deeper, researchers uncovered a dark and disturbing history. Long before the Dandies arrived, the land had been the site of hangings, Native American battles, and even possible occult rituals. Rumors spread of a cursed burial ground beneath the house. Locals whispered of witches who once used the area for sacrifices and dark ceremonies. One legend even told of a young girl who had been hanged near the property for practicing forbidden magic. Could these tragic events have opened a portal to something evil? Or was the house itself a magnet for dark energy? Eventually, the Dandy family couldn't take it anymore. Fearing for their lives and sanity, they packed up and fled, leaving behind furniture, photographs, and years of memories. But the story doesn't end there. The house changed hands many times, and nearly every owner reported similar hauntings. Contractors hired to renovate the house refused to return. Visitors complained of nausea, hallucinations, and an overwhelming urge to flee. Some even claimed to see ghostly figures peeking from behind curtains when no one was inside. Today, the Hinsdale House is owned by paranormal investigator Daniel Clace. Instead of demolishing the building, he chose to preserve it, turning it into a research site for paranormal studies. Ghost hunters, psychics, and skeptics alike have visited, and nearly all leave convinced something is deeply wrong with the house. Evidence of paranormal activity is overwhelming. EVP's electronic voice phenomena have captured voices screaming, whispering, and laughing in empty rooms. Shadow figures have been recorded on video. In one particularly chilling instance, a chair moved across the floor on its own during a live stream. But perhaps the most disturbing thing about the Hinsdale House is the way it affects people emotionally. Visitors have described sudden mood swings, fits of uncontrollable anger, and even suicidal thoughts while inside the building. Some believe the house doesn't just want to scare you, it wants to break you. Paranormal experts believe the property may sit on a ley line, a spiritual hotspot where energies intersect, amplifying supernatural activity. Others think it could be a dimensional rift, an open door between the world of the living and the dead. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain. The Hinsdale house leaves a lasting impression on everyone who visits. Even the most skeptical investigators have admitted to hearing footsteps in the attic, seeing shadows where there shouldn't be any, or feeling a sudden cold hand on their back. And